All right, welcome to episode 46 of the 2 Minute Warning. Today we're looking at the Los Angeles Rams. Last week we saw them lose to Miami. Will this team be in the playoffs?
Unfortunately, they won't do anything in the playoffs, but will they get a spot? Will they get a 6 or 7 seed? Yes, they'll be there.
They got a
Who's that?
They got a tough upcoming schedule.
Very tough.
I mean, they got to play the Cardinals twice, the Bucks, Seahawks. I mean, it's very possible they lose 4 to 5 games and somehow get bounced out by the Bears, which is a very real possibility. But I don't know. It's really a toss-up between those two teams, I think.
Yeah, I know Jay has a playoff picture kind of drawn up of it's hard for them to not get in with the picture of the NFC right now. Yeah. What do you see, Jay?
I mean, really, we got our pretty much lock-ins at division. I'd say Seahawks. I mean, not lock-ins, but between the Seahawks and Cardinals, one of them will make it over the Rams, I believe. Packers are going to take that division over the Bears. Bucks and Saints is a toss-up, and then the Eagles are going to take that division. Between all that, you got about 6 seeds that are pretty much locked in. And the 7th seed is mainly fought between the Rams and Bears. And while the Rams just destroyed the Bears, to say they'll 100% make it is not a guarantee. While I do think they will, to say they 100% will, it's tough to say. Like Wade said, they got to play the Seahawks twice. They got to play the Bucks. They got to play the Cardinals twice.
They play the Seahawks once. Oh, no, they do.
They
Seahawks twice.
Yeah.
Cardinals twice, Bucks once. That could be 5 losses, and they fall to 8-8 because they're at 5-3 right now. So the Bears could sneak in and take it from them, even though they have the head-to-head loss, just by having a better record. But I do think the Rams aren't going to go 5-0 in all those games.
Yeah, that's all true, and I do agree that they'll probably sneak. I think they're going to sneak into the playoffs. But this loss to Miami really just kind of turned me off to the Rams completely. I mean, that's not a great team in Miami, and Jared Goff fumbling once, throwing 2 picks. Their special teams was off. Their defense with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey did not step up like I expected them to. So it's a tough loss there for the Rams, and I just don't have much faith for them at all, to be honest.
I mean, I look at this Rams team right now, and you look at yesterday's game, and like you said, I mean, it was definitely a turnoff for a lot of people. But I mean, looking at the numbers, the Rams, like, if you take away the turnovers, the careless turnovers, the Rams would have blown Miami out of the water.
Like, yeah, their offense outperformed Miami's by a long shot.
They outgained Miami by 300+ yards. I mean, they held Tua to less than 100, passing yards. What was shocking to me was the fact that Jared Goff ended up throwing 61 passes, and how Sean McVay basically abandoned the run game early on. Even though it looked like it was working for them, Sean McVay has a tendency to abandon the run when things aren't going his way. He loves to rely on heavily on his quarterback's arm. And I think that put Jared Goff in a lot of tough positions, which may have...
He doesn't deal well with, which why he threw 2 picks.
Jared Goof-ass.
Yeah, Jared Goofy-ass. But I think that definitely had some impact on Goff. You throw more passes, you got more opportunities to throw interceptions. So, I mean, I think that the Rams definitely have a very potent offense, which can put up points. And their defense is stout. So, I mean, I definitely believe that the Rams, can make it in, especially over Chicago. Seeing how they played against them, either last week or a couple weeks ago, but I definitely could see the Rams squeezing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do see them in this playoff picture, but what I see them doing in the playoffs is really not much at all. I expect them. I think the only way they get a win is if they get a first-round game against that NFC East division winner, either in Dallas or Philadelphia. I don't see them beating presumably Seattle as that division winner, Green Bay. Or the Bucks or Saints. I don't see them beating either of those 3 teams. So I think their only chance for a first-round win is going to be either against Dallas or Philadelphia, and then after that, I think they're a loss either way. So I don't have much faith in this team.
Really, the Rams are kind of in desperate times. They need to do something. They need to make the playoffs and go far. I mean, their future, not to say it's ruined, but they gave up 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey, so it's not like they could do bad and then just pick up assets in the draft because that's gone, and you're relying all on Jalen Ramsey. So something needs to click soon, whether it be a trade, free agency, something. But they're just too far from a ring right now, and I think they're too far just from even a playoff win.
Yeah. I feel like every wild card team, basically, if you get the NFC East team, you are gonna win.
Yeah, you almost get first round bye
at the time.
Yeah.
But with the Rams, they're just like
inconsistent is a good way to put it.
Inconsistent is a good way. They were inconsistent last year. So I mean they definitely, I see them getting bounced if they aren't playing the NFC East team, they're going to get bounced.
I mean, we'll get a better picture when they play Seattle and the Cardinals. We haven't seen them play either, and we got to still see how good Kyler Murray is. While he looks great, it's still only halfway through the season, so that could be They're possible also another win chance, but I just don't see it happening. I'd like Kyler
Yeah.
Murray over Jared Goff 100%.
I think a win this week against Miami Dolphins would have greatly boosted their confidence going up next week to Seattle. But I think since they lost, this definitely takes a toll on their demeanor. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree that the loss here means a lot for the Rams.
Yeah.
But what I see is that was not necessarily a must win, but it absolutely should have won for the Rams. I think a win doesn't change much. They should have won that game.
They should have won.
Going into Seattle would have been that's the game that they should have been worried about, which maybe that's why they lost this game against Miami. I think the fact that they lost is big, but if they would have won, nobody would have really thought twice about it because they should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I think the main thing is limit all of their mental mistakes like turnovers,
Right,
all that
which
stuff.
is where you lose games. But
Yeah,
without those, they won the game they would have won the game by 10 points.
those are very manageable things that you could do. It wasn't like Miami just out.
That's true. They
Them.
didn't.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah. So
know
those
what you're
things you limit them.
Yep.
Rams will be straight.
So maybe they'll come out this weekend or next weekend. They have a bye this weekend. Next week against Seattle and surprise us again and put up a good game. But I don't see Russell Wilson losing to this team.
Yeah, it'll be good to see.
But
All right.
hopefully-
Okay.
2-1 warning.
2-1.